Morning, everybody. Today is the 18th of November, and we are here with the beautiful 11th grade B. Today's in our agenda, we have a small review of previous class, and then we're going to focus on reading some short stories to focus finally on the third conditional and their unreal situations in the past. All right, so what we're going to do is, as Miss Mary P says, check on the phrases of today's English, and these are everyday English idioms. So the first one is, you can't judge a book by its cover, and as Mary P says, it's you can't judge someone for how they look. Yes, you can judge someone by how they look. Okay, so you usually people do that. Is the way you look, for example, your hair, your skin, the clothes especially, is that how people treat you, so that ain't good. Okay, another one is, take it with a grain of salt, or take something with a grain of salt. Have you heard of this expression before? Take something with a grain of salt. All right, in this case, take something with a grain of salt refers to when someone tells you something, or you see something on the news, or especially social media now. Don't believe in everything. Okay, so take it with a grain of salt means read it, but analyze and try to filter everything. Okay, don't believe everything you read or everything you see. Or if someone, for example, comes to you, a friend, and tells you a rumor, right, a gossip about your best friend, you should try to take it with a grain of salt. Okay, especially if that person doesn't like your friend. All right. And finally, a very common expression, spill the beans. What's that? Have you heard of that one? Spill the beans. Come on, spill the beans. You say it all you. Get me some. Spill the beans, come on. Okay, Mary B. So it's like Izzy says, for example, yeah, something like that. It could be something like that, Mary B. So you get home and you say, family, have a big surprise. And they tell you, come on, spill the beans, tell us. Right, so it's to tell something. It could be interesting or not, or usually it's a secret. So it's connected to a secret. So when they tell you, spill the beans, it's connected to that, right? Tell us the secret that you have right now. All right, so those are the expressions of today. Thank you, Izzy, and thank you, Mary. Peace. All right, so I have some things to recommend. It's a YouTube channel called Jaime After Dark. It's really good because it talks about many things, and I was listening to it yesterday, and I had kind of a great surprise on the topics they were talking about. So, for example, they were asking him a question. I think this channel, well, Jaime is a musician. He has a he has another channel called Jaime Altozano, and he explains the music of movies or films, series, or video games. Okay, the music between things. So he's really good. But I didn't know that he had another channel called After Dark, and it seems like he does this late at night with people. So he explains things like becoming independent, study your passion, or study something that gives you money. Yesterday I was listening to university, like, is it speaking in public, for example. So it's a great conversation, honestly. My recommendation of today's week. So what's the use of going to university? So those sort of things. Okay, it's good. It's good. So I give you that recommendation for this week. All right. Another thing is that blog, and he's Spanish again. I'm sorry for that, but he is a physician. Bah, he's a physician from Spain as well, and he speaks about many things. connected to physics, obviously, and science mostly. Okay, so talking about everything. The picture of the year is black holes, Big Bang. Okay, so this guy really knows what he's talking about. Right, he explains things in an easy way. So it's a good blog. Okay, the physics between behind Dr. Stone and anime. Okay, so recommend it, absolutely, really good. And well, this is an anime, Shinjeki no Kyojin. I recommend it because next month is the last season coming out. It's really interesting. If you like anime, it's really good. Twin Peaks, it's a TV series. It's available in Netflix, on Netflix. It's really good, but it's difficult to understand. So if you liked Dark, for example, um, you may like watching Twin Peaks. It's a thriller series, mystery thriller series. It's really good. And finally, a movie called Prometheus. If you like science fiction only, you may like to watch. Well, actually, it's the full movie. What? What? There's a complete movie over there. Wow. 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 All right, people. So you have it on YouTube, so that's good. Only if you like science fiction. It's a nice movie. It's a nice movie. Okay, so if you want to have a look, there we go. Any recommendations from you people? Something that you would like to recommend me? I love your recommendations. Music, films, books, comic books, games. I'm sorry.
Aún no la termino, pero Gambito de Dama es buena.
Oh, I've heard many people talking about it. Yeah. So it's the Queen's Gambit, I think is the name, right? But is it about chess or
Sí, pero la niña es, no sé, es muy bacán.
and they already have videos of the girl. Oh, I like this. I like this YouTuber, Franciscus guy. Wow, that's good. Okay, I'm gonna watch it, Martina. So if you say it's good, I believe you. All right, let's do it. Ah, that's the girl, Annie Taylor. All right. Thank you, Martina. Anything else? Any other recommendation that you may have for me? Anything? Oye, Martina, mira, encontré este tipo que tiene audiobooks. Andrea Ficarelli. Y tiene.
En Spotify igual hay caleta.
Sí. Ah,
Yo
bueno.
escucho Harry Potter ahí en el Spotify.
Buena filete. Está en un level. ¿Cómo se llama el canal? O sea, ¿cómo se llama ¿cómo se llama el podcast?
Yo le puse Harry Potter y The Philosopher's Stone.
Oh. Oye, ¿por qué
Y
resalta?
salió al tiro.
¿Y está el libro completo?
Sí, en el Spotify.
Aguante.
Completo con todos los capítulos. Y el
Bueno.
2 también creo que está.
Ahora voy a echar una mira. Voy a echar una mira. Thank you, Martina. All right, people. So let's take to today's class. Previously, we were checking the first and the second conditionals. And here in Google Classroom, I put the videos for you to study. And obviously this Friday, I'm going to upload this video to this same area. So you can watch it to study for your test. Plus, I put some quizzes. Nothing really, I would say nothing really Mandatory. It's not an obligation, but you can do them to study. So here we have a second conditional quiz, and we're going to take it real quick just to review some things from the previous class. So we mentioned that the first conditional is a real situation that can happen, but the number two conditional, or the condition number, the second conditional, is an unreal situation and hypothetical. Also, we can use it with wish. So which one would be the correct here? It says, I wish my boss a promotion. Will give me, will have given me, would gave, would give me. Thinking about the things we checked on the previous class. Oh, cambió el monito. Ahí está. People, anything? I wish my boss. Me estoy buscando la. Ahí está. Para no abrirlo. C, D. So D then. Okay, so it's letter D. Okay, it's letter D. I agree. So we checked some stuff previously. Okay, so for example, we were checking first of all that on the second conditional we have an unreal situation or hypothetical event, right? And we construct this easily with sí sirve. Vamos a ver el tema. Dijimos if, past simple, comma, would or could or might plus infinitive. Verb infinitive. That's a verb inf. This is the second conditional kind of a regular structure, but here we don't have a second conditional structure. We have something very similar, and that similar thing is the wish, right? So we mentioned also that we have wish structure and if only. And what we do with those is they express a desire, which expresses a desire of a different present, okay? So we mentioned that, for example, what we need to use is wish or if only plus past simple. And we give an example. This one is a very good example, but let's have another one. I wish you were here. That was an example that some students gave me. Let me put this thing. Or if only you were here, okay? But also we checked in the previous class that, okay, let me give you a number, that's better. All right, and if we give it a number, or it would be 2.1, we have wish and different uses. And we mentioned that we can use wish plus past simple, wish plus could, and wish plus would. And they have, this is a desire, right? Un deseo de algo en el presente. This is an ability or permission. And here we have this would is complaint. So for example, here we have a desire. I wish I ate ice cream. Ojalá comiese helado ahora. Ojalá estuviese helado. I wish I had ice cream. Yeah. Example, permission. I wish I could go to the party. Ah. Y ability, lo voy a poner otra, de habilidad. I wish I could fly. All right. And complaint, la voy a separar para que no se confundan. God damn it. All right, there we go. Voy separando. ¿Pueden ver el bloc de notas por si acaso? Pregunta seria.
Sí, teacher.
Sí.
Ya, ahí está mi cuaderno. Ya, y vamos a poner el wish de complaint acá abajo. Aquí, por ejemplo, es como la oración que tenemos ahora. And this is, for example, I wish my boss would pay me more. Or I wish you would turn down the music. It's a complaint. And we mentioned that complaining and saying, stop it. Okay, please, don't do it anymore. All right. We have a question here, I think. C, yeah. Okay, good. This is a very good thing because it will be in the test, all right? You know what? Better, I should do this. This is the number 2. Wish is the number 3. Wish in different uses is the number 3.1. The number 1 is the first conditional. And this is a real possible event. Ahí le vamos a poner la estructura, ¿está bien? Ok, atento con esto, que es importante. All right, tenemos esa. Next one. Correct. All right, next one says, if more time, I would learn another language. If I have, if I will have, if I had, if I would have. A, B, C, D. God damn it, I'm so allergic today. People? Letter A, have, no. It's letter C, had. If I had more time. So I'm using here the second conditional. If I had more time, I would learn another language. Do I have more time, Mary? According to this, do I have more time? No, I don't have more time. So is an hypothetical situation. So what we use is if and past simple. So the past simple is had, is not have. If I had more time. All right, it's correct because in the second conditional we talked about possible results on a real situation. It is formed by if and past simple with an infinitive. So that's what we have. I retrain and get some new skills if it's you, if I were you, if I am you, if I would be you. What do you think? A, B, C, D. What do you think, people? Come on, people, we are 29 brains. Is it too difficult? Please tell me something. You're very quiet. Letter D. If I would be you, yes, it's B. It's B. Here we have would. I would retrain and get some skills. If I were you. Entonces aquí está live, past simple. Past simple is where. Goodie. Then we have this party is so boring. If only I at home watching TV. The party is boring. If only I. If only it was. If only I would be. If only I would have been. If only I can go. Letter A. If only I was at home. Yes. If only I were home. At home, it works as well. And then we have if we invent a drug to stop anger, the world would be a better place. If we if we could, if we can't, if we could. Letter D. Mary, A, B, C. Yes, it's D. If we could invent. Si pudiésemos inventar. Good. If I to Buenos Aires, I would definitely go tango dancing. Ah, okay. Yeah. I thought of that. What do you think now? People. ¿Están viendo la pantalla todo esto? ¿O no se ve?
Sí, teacher, sí se ve.
No, entonces, ¿por qué estás tan callado? Más o menos escríbame en el chat. Letter D. No. Went. If I went to Buenos Aires, it's B. Okay. We are in second conditional Consuelo and Miss Javiera. So it's if, past simple, would, or could, or lo que sea. Entonces, past simple is went. If we our current usage in all countries, we could decrease the impact of global warming. Then it would if, past simple, if we reduce, if we will reduce, if we would reduce, if we will have reduced. People? 7A. Look at that. Yes. A. If we reduce, si redujésemos. Yeah. If, past simple. Okay, that is the second conditional. It's very simple. And lastly, which of the following sentences is not a second conditional sentence? It's not. Mírate que sí está bueno para la prueba. Voy a identificarlo. The dogs would be a lot happier if we lived in the country. If you read more, you will improve your vocabulary. Would you accept a promotion to a manager if they offered to you? And if I won the lottery, I would quit my job. Which one is not a second conditional sentence? Yeah, it's letter B. ¿Qué es lo que es la B? What is B? What conditional is it?
El will improve, ¿no?
El will improve, el condicional 1, porque está diciendo algo que es posible que pase. Dice, if you read more, you will improve vocabulary. Yes, is the first. Porque si lees, obviamente el vocabulario se va a ampliar. Y eso es una realidad, es posible. Entonces, por eso no está funcionando como segundo condicional. Es el primero. Ready. Perfect. Alrighty. Okay, good feedback. So these quizzes are in your classroom, okay, Google Classroom. I put here some other activities, and also you have the first conditional here as well. All right, so my recommendation is do them to study. I'm going to put some other material connected to today's class, the third conditional, here for you to study. Okay, now let's move. I would like to start first with some stories, okay? Are you guys ready?
Sí, profe.
People, can you guys do me a favor? Can you wait for me like 1 minute so I can take a pill for my allergy?
Sí, teacher.
Sí, profe.
Awesome. Okay, I'll be right back. Hello, 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 hello. Okay, I'm ready. Let's hope it works. All right, people, you guys ready?
Sí,
Are you ready?
teacher.
All right, so let me just check on the volume first. Oh, my back. All right, let's check on the volume. Let's see. So I'm gonna zoom it up a bit. Oh, I can't. Oh no, yes, I can. Yeah, I can. All right, here we go.
Fanny's neighborhood was destroyed by a hurricane. If Fanny had known about the dangers, she would have left the city. If the government had warned the citizens, then many people wouldn't have been trapped in their houses by floodwaters. If the government had listened to the warnings of environmentalists, the city could have taken more precautions. If there had been better planning, the damage wouldn't have been so severe. If Fanny had been warned, she could have gathered emergency supplies of food and water. If the government had provided buses and transportation, then everyone could have evacuated the area.
All right, so what we have is something happened at Fanny's neighborhood. It was destroyed by a hurricane. And then they tell us this thing, like if Fanny had known the dangers, she would have left the city. And then some other things, okay? If the government had warned the citizens, and many people wouldn't have been trapped in their houses by floodwaters, inundaciones. If the government had listened to the warnings of environmentalists, the city could have taken more precautions, and if there had been better planning, the damage would have been so severe. So finally, if Fanny had been warned, she could have gathered emergency supplies, food of water, gathered, recolectado, and if the government had provided buses and transportation, then everyone could have been evacuated from the area. So what we're going to do is answer some questions connected to the thing. All right. Let's see. So we need to write here a bit, 100%. So if Fanny had known about the dangers of the hurricane, what would she have done? People. People, anything?
It is conditional.
Huh? Sorry, what? She would have, first condition, estamos respondiendo más que nada. Look, Javi, está preguntando. Fanny's neighborhood was destroyed by a hurricane. If Fanny had known the dangers, she would have left the city. Entonces estamos poniéndonos this. Okay, this is the idea. All the situations happened. Okay. Ah, thank you. So what we have here is all these situations happened in the past. What we are doing now is we're reviewing what these people would have done. So for example, here someone gave me an answer, very good answer. She would have been more prepared. Yes. She would have been more prepared for the situation. Okay. Si hubiese conocido los peligros de los huracanes. Yeah. In the text says something like also she would have left the city. Okay, se hubiese ido de la ciudad. All right, let's see the other one. It says what could have prevented people from being trapped in their houses? ¿Qué hubiese prevenido a la gente quedar atrapada? ¿Qué se podría haber hecho?
Salir antes de su casa
Okay,
y
so
protegerse.
okay, let's see. What could have prevented? So So if, let's say, the government, su gobierno hubiese avisado antes, if the government would have, if the government had warned, avisado, advertido people before, si el gobierno hubiese avisado antes. So if the government had listened to the environmentalists, what could have happened differently? ¿Qué hubiese pasado? Gala, estamos en clase, Gala. Si el gobierno hubiese escuchado a los medioambientalistas. Gala, please. Go to your place here.
La gente no se había quedado atrapada.
Okay, so people wouldn't have been trapped. Or here we have people wouldn't have been in trouble. All right. Okay. Luca. Está la fufa aquí, mira. ¿Qué? ¿Qué?
Qué linda.
Está aquí, le gusta venir a estudiar inglés. Okay. And what would have lessened the damage of the hurricane? ¿Qué hubiese reducido el impacto? Lessened. Thank you, Perchito.
Cortar la luz para que no hayan cortocircuito.
¿Qué pudiese haber reducido
Cuando cae
el huracán? Ya. Entonces, the government could have cut the electricity city and could have provided buses and transportation, right, for people to escape. Okay, let's see. So we're gonna move now from a different story. All right, let's see this one. Bye. All right, what about this one? Ryan's crazy. All right, let's go. I'm going to zoom it up a bit. All right, here we go.
Ryan woke up late for school today. If Ryan had remembered that today was a class trip, he would have arrived on time. If Ryan hadn't been late, his classmates wouldn't have been annoyed at him. If he had remembered they were visiting a farm, he wouldn't have worn his best clothes. If he had known they were going horseback riding, he would have worn his cowboy hat. If Ryan hadn't tried doing cowboy tricks on the horse, he wouldn't have ended up face first in the mud. Also, if he had stayed away from the cows as he was told, he wouldn't have been chased around by an angry herd. After lunch, the class went berry picking. If he had listened to the warning about poisonous berries, Ryan wouldn't have spent the afternoon in the hospital. But if Ryan had behaved himself all day, he wouldn't have had so many funny stories to tell his parents when he got home.
All right, so again, same idea. All of these events happened, okay? They happened in the past. So what we're doing is talking about how the situation could have been different. So we have that this boy, he woke up late and a lot of bad things happened. So if he had remembered that today was a road trip, he would have arrived on time. And if he hadn't been late, his classmates wouldn't have been annoyed at him. And if he had remembered they were visiting a farm, he wouldn't have worn his best clothes. Okay, so what we have here is the following thing. If Ryan had remembered that today was a class trip, what would he have done? People, si él se hubiese acordado que tenía viaje de estudios, como, sí, ¿qué hubiese hecho? Porque no se acordó, claramente. Any idea? Claro, a veces llegamos temprano. So he would have been more prepared and would have arrived earlier with his other classmates. A veces llegaba a tiempo, cosa que no llegó. Yeah. Why were his classmates annoyed with him? Molestos con él. Why? Why? What was the reason? You know what? Because yes, because he had arrived late. Porque había llegado tarde. Yes. Gala, what are you doing? Gala. 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 Baby, come. What are you doing? Come. Come here. What are you doing over there? Crying. All right, let's continue. If Ryan had remembered visiting a farm, what would he have done differently? What wait. What do you think? I mean, yeah, yes, Andrew, because you arrived late, the same thing. If Brian had remembered that they were visiting a farm, what would he have done differently? ¿Qué hubiese hecho distinto si él hubiese recordado que iban a una granja? Ay. Yes, Yanela, good. So he would have worn normal clothes or regular clothes. Porque se fue con su mejor ropa. Yeah. I'm gonna stop here. Why? Because we're gonna change activity. You have the idea, Yanela. Andrew, you too. I need to make sure that everyone's get the idea. So I'm moving here to another thing. How to understand these sentences. Help me here. It says, if it hadn't rained yesterday, we would have had picnic. Now tell me, we had a picnic or it rained yesterday? It rained. Yes, it rained. We didn't have the picnic. All right. Now, if you had come to the party, you would have met my cousin. So you didn't meet my cousin, or you came to the party. Which one is correct? You didn't meet my cousin because you didn't come to the party. Yes, good. But if you had come to the party, you would have met my cousin. Okay, you didn't come. Good. So we are talking about situations in the past. If you had known he was a careless driver, I wouldn't have lent him my car. If I'd known that he was a careless driver, I wouldn't have lent my car. So I lent him my car, or he isn't a careless driver. Yes, I lent him my car. What's the meaning of lent, by the way?
Prestar,
Prestar.
dejar.
Yes. Y con la T pasado. I lent my car. Now, if Professor Neville had taught history course, I would have taken it. I didn't take history course, or Professor Neville taught the course. What is true? If Professor Neville had taught the history course, I would have taken it. What is true here? I didn't take it.
La del profesor.
It's this one. This is the true one. Is that it says if Professor Neville had taught the history course, si él lo hubiese impartido, lo hubiese tomado. Claramente él no lo impartió, pues. Quizá lo impartió otro profe. Por eso no lo tomé. Pero si lo hubiese impartido él, lo hubiese tomado. Maria wouldn't have married Felipe if he hadn't been in love with him. Maria wasn't in love with Felipe. Maria married Felipe. Maria
¿Se
married.
casó con Felipe?
Yes, they married. Si ella no se hubiese casado con Felipe, si ella no hubiese estado enamorada de él. Se casaron, eso es verdad. Okay. Maria married. Galula, ya, pues Galula. Anda por jugar con tierra. Ya, chao. Anda a jugar con tu juguete. Ay, pero no. Tenía el micrófono en la pata. Ay. Ya, vaya para allá. All right. If the bus had been on time, we wouldn't have missed our appointment. We missed it, yes. Nos la perdimos, pero si el bus hubiese llegado a tiempo, no lo hubiésemos perdido, la perdimos. Esto es actividad de trabajo. If I had had a lot of homework last night, I wouldn't have gone to the movies. I didn't go to the movies, or I didn't have a lot of homework. Ay, no puedo mover tan chico. Ahí sí. Ay, gana el micrófono no.
Mucha tarea, que si no tuviera mucha tarea.
Claro, I didn't have a lot of homework. Yes, that is a true one. Y nos queda poquito. If Ali had heard about the new position before the application deadline, he would have applied it. Si hubiese escuchado de la postulación, lo hubiese postulado. Ali didn't hear about the job position in time to apply, or Ali applied for the job. Ali didn't. Yeah, he didn't hear. He didn't know about the application time. And you wouldn't have had to rewrite your essay if you hadn't copied it straight from the website. Oh, no, you caught cheating, or you didn't copy your essay from your. You got caught. Te pillaron. Copy paste. And finally, I wouldn't have watched the movie if I had known it was scary. ¿Sí? Yeah, I wouldn't have watched the movie if I had known it was scary. I watched the movie. Oh, I like scary movies. Yes, I watched the movie. Right? Yes. 100%. No. Sí, boy, I didn't take the. If Professor Neville had taught the course.
Sí, porque no le gustaba el profesor.
Sí, sí, leí mal la cuestión, sorry, me distrajo aquí la pilula. Ya, ande para allá. Loquilla. Yeah, you were right. That was true. I give you that. You were right. Correct. All right, so what we are checking here and what we're having a look is to the third conditional, or conditional number 3, which in my opinion is kind of it's not the easiest in structure, but it's the easiest to understand. Let's have a look. Ay. You gotta have the microphone on your neck. Come on. Okay, so let me take you to where we are. All right, let's do it. So let me move quickly. Here we are. Okay. So let's have a look. So how it works is really simple. Third conditional. No, wait. I did it. All right. Sorry, forgot that I had done it. So the third conditional explains. It talks about the past. That is the first thing. So all of the things that happen in this conditional is in the past. So we use it to describe a situation that didn't happen to imagine a different result. Okay, a situation that didn't happen, but we imagine a different result. Okay, example. I didn't win the lottery because I didn't buy a ticket. But if I had bought a ticket, maybe I could have won the lottery. Do you understand? Oh. I didn't go to the party, for example, but if I had gone to the party, I could have danced reggaeton, for example. And here we have an example. If I had continued classes, if we had continued classes, more people would have caught the virus. So did we continue classes? Like in the real classes? No, we didn't.
No.
Okay. So we are imagining something that didn't happen, but we are imagining like in a different situation. All right. So that's the idea. All right. So we have here some pictures. So I'm gonna give you some ideas. So here, if this person is playing poker or something, I don't know. So, for example, if I hadn't played poker, I wouldn't have lost all my money. The one in the car, if I had reduced the speed, I wouldn't have crashed the car. Here we have, if I had gone to a better hairstylist, I probably would have liked my hair better. If I hadn't jumped from that ceiling, from that roof, I wouldn't have broken my leg. And finally, if I hadn't eaten all the meat in that barbecue, I wouldn't have felt sick. Okay. Now, okay, give me a second. I'm gonna take Gala out because she is playing a lot. Gala. All right, let's go. All right, I'm back. Okay, so in the end, what we have and what is important right now is the structure. So what we do is we need if and had and the verb NPP. Like I said, if I had, for example, if I hadn't driven that fast, if I hadn't driven that fast, I wouldn't have crashed the car. And the other example, if I had been more careful, I wouldn't have lost all my money. So what we're doing is if now goes with had always, and we need a verb in PP, and then we need would have. Okay, this is yes or yes. Esto se pone sí o sí. Had and would have, yes or yes, and then we need the verb in PP. In both cases, we need verb in PP. For some people, this is the most difficult because they don't know the verbs, but we need to know them. So I'm going to move a bit from the structure, and we have this example. It says, if Billy look up, he see a young lady on the way to work. How should we complete this one? How should we complete this with the third conditional? People. Okay, so if Billy had looked, thanks Janella, if I looked up, he would have seen a young lady on the way to work. So what we have is if, and then we need the past perfect. Had and a verb in PP. And then he would have, esto va sí o sí, puede ser would have, puede ser could have, puede ser might have, cualquiera de esos tres. Generalmente van a pillar el would have. He would have and verb in PP again. Si él hubiese mirado hacia arriba, hubiese visto a una chica el camino al trabajo. Qué raro, la razón. If he, let's do that one. If he had, didn't, oh, qué raro eso. The right thing, he not see his sister again. Yuri al revés, Andrés. Negativo primero.
Hadn't.
Yes, if he hadn't, ya tenemos el auxiliar, listo. Nos falta el verbo en PP. Do. Verbo en PP. Done, yes. If he hadn't done the right thing, si no hubiese hecho lo correcto, he vamos, está negativo. La segunda parte. Yes, wouldn't have seen. Wouldn't have seen. Correct, very nice. Okay, this is little practice. Okay, this is very short. We need more practice with this. So here we have more things. Okay, we did those and we did those. We're gonna move to the workbook porque acá hay más práctica. Y bueno, acá está el wish if only. Tercer condicional. Tercer condicional, unir. Yeah, let's go quickly before we finish the class. So I wouldn't have gone to the concert. Help me. I wouldn't have gone to the concert. Tiene que ser un if. Porque estar would.
If I had known.
Sí.
If I had known. Estoy buscando. If I had known. If I had known. Aquí. If I known it was going to be so bad. Ya, no hubiese ido al concierto, si hubiese sabido que iba a ser tan malo. Ya. I would have got a much better mark. Me hubiese sacado una mejor nota.
La primera.
If I studied harder. Ahora, estudié así con dedicación para la prueba.
No.
No, pues
No.
entonces me saqué mala nota, por supuesto. Entonces, lo que hace el condicional 3 es pensar o idear un universo paralelo, a una línea temporal paralela a lo que hubiese pasado. Es como pensar de algo que pasó, que ya terminó, y si hubiese hecho eso, ¿qué hubiese pasado? Eso es lo que hace el condicional 3. Imagina sobre algo que ya terminó. We would have saved a lot of money
La última.
if we'd eaten at home. Hubiésemos ahorrado mucha plata si hubiésemos comido en la casa. Yes. She would have got completely lost.
La segunda.
Number 2, if she hadn't had a map. If she hadn't had a map. So she had a map and they didn't get lost. So that's good. If you hadn't kicked the ball so hard,
La tercera.
it wouldn't have knocked my glasses off. Oh, that's so annoying. Yeah, that's true. Next one. If she had apologized, si eso hubiese disculpado,
Penúltima.
I would have forgiven her. Did she apologize? Question?
No.
No, no se disculpó. ¿Ya? Pues si lo hubiese hecho, no lo hizo. Si lo hubiese hecho, posiblemente sí. If I had had his number, I would have phoned him. Estaba ahí. Y fíjense, no se asusten si pasa esto. If I had had. Okay, so the two things are possible because one is the auxiliary of the past perfect, if I had, and then we have the verb of PP. If I had had. All right, and to finish, we have this one, which is if they had been a bit quieter, they wouldn't have woken the baby. So they woke the baby. Bad thing. All right, people. All right, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to upload today, when the class is finished, to your Google Classroom, the video of this class, plus exercises of the third conditional, like this one, okay, like a BBC Learning English, and also this one online. I'm going to put material for you to study and all the vocabulary that will be included in the test. So, to conclude, what do I need for the third conditional? Oh, I mean, what's the use? Ayúdame para construir el uso. ¿Para quién lo ocupó? Third conditional. Different.
Situaciones que podrían haber pasado.
Okay, so it's a different. I think I wrote it here. Let's use this one. Aquí la escribí bien, ahora no se me ocurre. Yeah, it describes a situation that didn't happen. And we imagine the results, a different result of the situation. And imagine a different result of the situation. Okay, so that's the thing. So, ayúdame con la estructura para ir cerrando y recordarla. So, I need if, then what do I need next?
Had.
Okay, I need the past perfect, had, plus
Verbo en past participle.
yes, verb in past participle or PB, and then I need
El would have.
would, puede ser would, puede ser could, puede ser might. Generalmente va a salir el would. Plus,
El verbo en past participle.
me faltó el have. Ahí va. Plus verb in PP. Okay, so verb in PP everywhere. So it's would have or could have or might have. Ya, para eso así se ocupa estructuralmente. Esto va a estar en su Google Classroom, ¿ya? Les voy a completar el del first conditional as well. And I'm going to put some videos. All right, people, so the test will be next class. Be ready. Please come. If you can't come, send me a message. Please send me an email, I think. And please.
¿Va a ser por Socrative igual?
What? Martina? Sorry?
La prueba va a ser como va a ser como por Socrative.
Sí, la vamos a hacer por Socrative. Para poder realizar la prueba tiene que estar conectado en Zoom. Si me la entrega y no se conectó, la prueba está nula, ¿ya? Por si acaso, para que lo sepan. Sí, va a ser por Socrative y va a incluir un audio y el audio se lo voy a mandar al Andrés 10 minutos antes de la prueba, ¿ya? Así que ahí estén presentes, por favor, para la prueba y estudien. Estudien porque va a estar densa. ¿Ok? Tiene harta cosa, así que ojo ahí. Alrighty.
Gracias, profe, sí.
Ok, ya. Entonces, atento a lo que yo voy a subir hoy día para que tengan todas las instrucciones para estudiar y el material para hacer. Les voy a juntar esta cosa para que puedan repasar y estudiar lo más posible. People, anything else? ¿Algo más? ¿Alguna duda, consulta?
No, teacher.
Ya, a los que no me han mandado las fotos, lo espero hasta las 4. Pasadas las 4, lo siento, pero voy a mandar y si no me han mandado un correo, los papás de por qué no van a estar en el anuario, voy a tener que llamarlos personalmente. ¿Ya? Se cuidan. Chau, chau.
Igual
Chao,
usted, profe.
Chao, teacher,
Cuídense.
igual.
Chao,
Chao, profe,
teacher,
cuídese.
cuídese.
Chao,
Chau,
profe.
chau, Felipe. Chau, chiquillos. Chau, chiquillas.